How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL Game Week preview. And this week we're looking at Game Week 32 Plus. So let's just get straight into it. I know I'm 1 minute late, but that's fine. Had to do some maintenance around the house. Also, if you hear any noise or anything like that, it's because we're doing some maintenance around the house and that sort of thing. So I apologize for any audio issues or anything like that this week. So let's check out the team. Alright, that is my Twitter. That is not what we want. We want that. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so we'll close that out. Cool. Everyone can see that up on the stream. Lovely doubly. Alright. Just gonna move this up a little bit over here. Okay, cool. Alright, so my team did pretty darn good, I think. We got quite a few returns from a bunch of different players. We moved up, I think it was around 7k places, so we're well inside the top 50k now. I believe we're only around 40-something points from inside the top 10k, so we're doing quite good for ourselves. So let's see who got those points for us. Well, it was definitely a week for defenders, at least for my team, and for quite a few others as well. So we had Patricio in goal, got us 6 points, is exactly what we wanted. Same with Doherty, got us 6 points. Unfortunately, he didn't get any returns attacking wise, but nonetheless got the clean sheet, didn't get a yellow, which is fantastic. Wan-Bissaka getting an assist in the Manchester United game and got 2 bonus points, fantastic. Trent Alexander-Arnold getting 14 points after scoring a goal and getting a clean sheet, absolutely fantastic. So we're looking at something, you know, very nice here in our back line. We also have Mohamed Salah, who was our captain, got us 11 points. Lovely dovely. And we also have the rest of our midfield, which was, they kind of added up to Salah's points, but overall we were better to get 3 points than we are 2. So yeah, not too bad there, not too bad. Just 1 second, I just need to check something here. Alrighty. Just moving this around. Close this. Move this over a little bit. Just gotta change something on the other side here. Alright. Fantastic. Cool. Yeah, so where were we? Yeah, so Son got us 6 points, and then Fernandes, Pogba, and Richarlison all got us 3. Like I said, remember we talked about last week that Fernandes was probably going to either be involved in the assist of the assister, not get any points, and that's exactly what happened. So all those people that obviously captained him missed out on Martial's hole or Rashford's hole. I just went with my gut instinct. Just went with Salah, who ended up being quite good for us as well. And then up front, obviously, Raul Jimenez scored again. Calvert-Lewin unfortunately blanked and would have been a better option than Nketiah. And I hope that's not the same for this week as well, because we're going to be looking to do the same thing and play Calvert-Lewin versus Leicester rather than Nketiah versus Norwich, even though he scored, I think. Because there's no reason for us to not bring in Calvert-Lewin and not trust him, because him and Richarlison have played well. It's just they just haven't found the back of the net, really. Same with Aubameyang. It's kind of unfortunate for him. And then, like I said, we got Nketiah on the bench. You got a 6, Lascelles 1, and Ngakia didn't play, and I believe his contract is ending, so he's going to be just kind of there. And then obviously our goalkeeper is a non-playing goalkeeper, because we're planning on playing Patricio till the end of the season, and if we need to make a transfer in the very end of the game week, it will potentially be him, or maybe a free hit for the last game of the season, or last game week of the season. So not too bad there. I believe we ended up with 85 points. Yep, and the average was 62. The top 10k average was around 79, so slightly higher, which is good for us. And so, Leicester, we have a 0-0 draw between those two. Let's bring up the old tweet here. So, I don't think I got many right this week, but we'll see. So, Leicester, 0-0 draw with Brighton. I said 3-1, so we got the result completely wrong, so we don't get any points for that. Spurs, West Ham, 2-0 victory. Got it exactly right, so we get all 3 points. Like we normally win. That's a terrible 3. United, we said would win 2-0. They end up winning 3-0. So we get 1 point for a correct result. Aston Villa and Newcastle 1-1. Got that exactly right too. So that's 3 points there. Everton 1-0 over Norwich. So we got the result right. We said 2-0, so 1 point there. Wolves, we said 3-0 over Bournemouth. They won 1-0, so again, the right result. Liverpool 2-0 over Crystal Palace. They ended up winning 4-0, so again, the right result. Actually, we did quite well now that I think about it. We did say Watford would beat Burnley. They didn't, however, so that is a 0 there. Arsenal got the result versus Southampton, so we do get 1 point for our 3-2 prediction. And then we said Man City would beat Chelsea 3-1. That didn't happen, so we got 0 there. So overall, we got 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points total, which is pretty good. Pretty good. We got 2 exact results right, and we got 7 out of the 10 results total right, which is pretty good. Patricio kept a clean sheet for Wolves, so we got both of those right. Fernandez for Newcastle, he didn't do anything, so unfortunately nothing there. Pogba was unfortunate not to get anything, and Danny Ings did not get anything either, so only 2 out of 5 there. Not the end of the world. So moving on to this week's fixtures. So we have first up the old Aston Villa versus Wolves. Let me just make sure that you guys can see that. Yep. Just gotta bring it across a little bit further. There we go. Alright, so Aston Villa versus Wolves. I think Wolves are going to win. I don't think Aston Villa is going to score. I think it's going to be a typical Wolves scoreline, and it's going to be... Oh, nope, that's not the right number. That should be a 0. 2-0 to Wolves. Watford versus Southampton. I think this game can go either way, personally. I still think that Southampton may be up to the challenge. Obviously, Wolves are pretty inconsistent. Southampton coming off a loss. I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. I think it's going to be a 1-1. Crystal Palace versus Burnley. Obviously, Zaha went off injured versus Liverpool. Burnley did just beat Watford, but I think Crystal Palace has got a lot more grit about them. I think Crystal Palace will win this game, and they'll probably win the game 1-0. Brighton versus Manchester United. I think United should win this game comfortably. I think that United will score a few goals in this game because I don't think Brighton are that good as well, and they've just kind of been flattered with the teams that they've been playing against. So I think United will win this game. I don't think United will keep a clean sheet, although it is possible they may give up something silly, but I think United will win the game 3-1. Arsenal versus Norwich. I see no reason why Arsenal shouldn't keep a clean sheet in this game, and I think they'll score a few, and I think Aubameyang's probably going to get back on the score sheet, even though I hope he doesn't because he's not my team. So 3-0 I think will be the scoreline there. Bournemouth versus Newcastle. I can easily see Newcastle keeping a clean sheet here and just nicking a 1-0 win. Bournemouth haven't been great, and I think they're probably one of the teams that potentially could be relegated. It's going to be between them, West Ham, and Aston Villa. That'll probably be the the ones that are definitely going to go down or fighting to go down. They're trying their hardest, but unfortunately there's nothing good. And then Norwich is going to be the one that's going to be the other one. I think that's a definite. Everton versus Leicester. I think Everton are actually going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game 2-1. I see Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin obviously getting back on the score sheet. I think Jamie Vardy might do on the other side. But again, it could be a back and forth game, and I think Everton will just edge this one. West Ham obviously haven't been great. Chelsea obviously looked very good versus Man City. They kind of soaked up the pressure and just played really good on the counter. I think Pulisic is a very good asset to have if you do have him, or if you're looking to get him in. I think it's a great time to do so. So I think Chelsea should win this game quite easily. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Sheffield United versus Spurs. I think Sheffield United just they're in a bad place at this time. Spurs should win the game like they did against West Ham, so I think 2-0 is a comfortable scoreline. Now, Man City versus Liverpool. This is going to be a tricky one to call. I can easily see this game being a very open-ended game. Obviously, both managers obviously wanting to put a stamp of authority to say kind of... So in Pep's case for Man City, he was kind of saying, okay, you guys won the league, but, we can still beat you. And Klopp saying kind of, well, look, we won the league and we can beat you, so... we're showing our authority here. And City didn't obviously look great versus Chelsea. I think Liverpool might just edge this in a 2-1 victory. Now, moving on to the clean sheets and the differentials. I think Arsenal to keep a clean sheet this week. They're versus the team that's down the bottom. It only makes sense for them to score. Then we have Dubravka in goal for Newcastle. I think he's going to keep a clean sheet because I think Bournemouth are also bad. I think Alonso as our defender for this week for Chelsea is a good shout. Looked very good in the City game, although he did pick up an early yellow, but that's kind of expected versus Riyad Mahrez, and then kind of controlled the game well from there. And he's going to be a lot more attacking versus West Ham because they're going to give him the space to go forward. I picked Pogba last week. He almost was able to get a couple of returns in the game. Obviously playing a more deep line playmaker, but does make those surging runs in the box. I think he's a very good asset this week because I think Brighton are going to try to shut down Fernandes, which may open up space for Pogba to do what he needs to do best. And then lastly, we have Eddie Nketiah, scored in their previous game versus Southampton. He's probably going to start over Lacazette again in the Norwich game. It's the only risk of rotation. If you're looking to have a punt, he is very cheap in 4.4 million and very low owned. And yeah, I think it could be a good option there. And all of these players here are less than 5% owned, I want to say. So hopefully those could play off. Yeah, Nketiah, he does not play for Norwich. He plays for Arsenal. Let's fix that one. Yes, I have adjusted that. I put the team who he was playing against. That is a good pickup. Good pickup. Thank you. Alright, so this is the team that we have currently going into next game week. I don't think I'm going to make a transfer. I think I'm just going to start players as they were. I think obviously Patricio in goal with Doherty and Jimenez as they are playing Aston Villa, who are in the fight for relegation and not playing all that well. The Man United assets are definitely going to play in Wan-Bissaka, Fernandes, and Pogba. I'm going to start the two Everton players. I'm not sure. If anything, I'm going to take out Calvert-Lewin for Nketiah. But Calvert-Lewin also has a good home fixture. Everton just, they look like they can score. And I don't want to basically miss out on a potential hole there. Arsenal may just flop it, and Norwich might just play well, and then they just end up losing the game. Arsenal, you never know. So I can't really rely on them. Calvert-Lewin is more money, so I kind of want to put it in the team. And then obviously, lastly, we have Heung-min Son, who's against Sheffield United away. And then actually, one other thing to point out, I kind of glossed over the fact that Liverpool are playing City, and that I don't expect points there. However, there may be rotation as well, because Liverpool obviously won the league. They can still get Centurion, which is basically being the champion with 100 or more points. They still can beat City's total of 100 points as well, so they may be going there to kind of prove a point and then rotate afterwards. So I'm going to play them both. There's no point in not playing them. Trent is our most expensive defender, and Salah is our most expensive midfielder, and it's definitely likely that they're going to play. Now it's just a matter of who I'm going to captain. That's kind of the tricky point here. So let's just go into the transfer screen here. So we do have 0.5 million. We have one transfer available. We used a wild card last week, and our remaining chips are our triple captain and our free hit. I think our free hit is going to be used probably at the last game week of the season potentially, and then our triple captain is going to be used on something where we find a favorable fixture. So if I just scroll down here and just kind of take a look at the fixtures here. So the games we're kind of looking at potentially, we're looking for a hole that could be absolutely massive. So I don't see anything here potentially apart from Aubameyang maybe, who I would potentially pick if I had him, but I don't trust Arsenal obviously at the moment. Another game could be Manchester United versus Bournemouth, could be a very good hole there. Chelsea versus Watford, maybe. Liverpool versus Aston Villa, so game week 33. If Klopp's not rotating, could be just a disaster for Aston Villa. Same with Man City versus Southampton, could also be good there. What else are we looking at? City typically struggle against Newcastle, so that's not great there. United versus Aston Villa could be another one. Just looking at the fixtures. Liverpool versus Burnley, they could do the same thing as what City did versus them. City play Brighton, away. Could be good points there. Yeah, not too much, not too great of fixtures there. Here, Liverpool play up against Arsenal, so it could be potentially good for Liverpool there. Maybe a different pick there. City versus Bournemouth could be an absolute nightmare for Bournemouth, so that's another fixture that we're also looking at as well. Game week 37, we have United versus West Ham, although historically United has struggled versus West Ham, so it could be a bit tricky there. The only other fixture that we'd be looking at would be City versus Watford, maybe, would be another one. But lastly, the main one that I'm thinking for the triple captaincy is this game week here. City versus Norwich. However, we want to also play potentially our free hit in that week too, could be. So again, I'm not using anything this week for sure, because I don't see anything worthy of basically using it on, unless I had a Aubameyang, in which case I would consider it. But overall, just not the most ideal of circumstances there. So I do have the captaincy on Jimenez. I was thinking potentially putting it on a United asset, maybe obviously on Salah, maybe on Son, but I think that the most likely person to score is going to be Raul Jimenez because he's facing Aston Villa and they kind of suck. But I don't know. The last time that they played Aston Villa, they won 2-1 and he scored. Okay, that gives me hope. What about Son versus Sheffield United? Sheffield United, he scored as well, so it could be potentially good there. Last time we played Brighton, I believe we didn't do too hot. So where's Brighton? Oh no, they won 3-1. Okay, might be good there. And like I said, Richarlison scored last time versus Leicester as well. So I think I'm gonna leave it on Jimenez for now. I think I'm gonna leave it on Jimenez. I don't know. I think he's the best option. He's versing a team that's fighting relegation, and they're trying to get into the top 4, and they're gonna need to pick up as many points as possible because obviously Chelsea winning versus City isn't ideal for the likes of Manchester United and Spurs and Wolves, who are trying to get that spot away from them. Could be a bit tricky here. Another Maverick move would be to put in Nketiah versus Norwich and captain him. But again, like I said, I don't trust Arsenal. So I think this is probably going to be the team that we kind of stick with here. I think that's probably going to be the team that we stick with. So, and then just kind of thinking about next week. So we're going to be looking to bring, obviously, Man City assets back in. So let's see if there's ways that we can do that. So we have 0.5 million. So somebody's going to have to kind of make way. We're going to have to see how, obviously, if Everton blank again, then obviously Richarlison could be the one up on the block in midfield to make way. So player, obviously, we'd want to bring back in would be Kevin De Bruyne. Because he's just nuts good. He's just completely ridiculous. And then the other person we could potentially look to get rid of would maybe be Salah, but they play Aston Villa, Brighton, Burnley, so not ideal. Will we get rid of Son? Son obviously has really good fixtures. You know, but Spurs are kind of a bit defensive. So I wouldn't even be able to bring in Mahrez even if I got rid of Son. So that's kind of a problem. Yeah, unfortunately, like, we'd have to wait until Salah's fixtures are kind of finished in order to do something. Or maybe we look to free hit in one of these game weeks potentially. So maybe next week we just kind of, if depending on who plays worse, maybe we get rid of Richarlison and we bring in Mahrez, who's obviously looked quite good at 8.5. Could potentially be a shout there. So then we're looking at this week's fixtures, because we still want to keep our team for these fixtures here. And then obviously Liverpool play Aston Villa. If then we see signs of Liverpool starting to rotate, we could then do a double transfer the following game week and basically just take out our Liverpool assets completely, apart from Trent. So we would so we do one transfer next week, then we go into the game week 34 with 2 transfers. We take out Salah, we would take out Nketiah if we can. Can we do that? No, I don't think we can do that. Can we do it with Calvert-Lewin? Let's see. So if I wanted to bring in, let's say, Jesus as an example, I couldn't get De Bruyne. That's a shame. Bring in De Bruyne like that. So we'd be 0.8 off. But depending on how kind of Pogba plays, because Man United could be rotating. Yeah, Chelsea players too. I'm thinking about Alonso as well. Is another one. That's a good shout. Even Giroud is looking quite good. Pulisic is another one. Super cheap. Let's actually just look at their prices. So Alonso's 6.2 could easily come in for Trent if we wanted to get rid of him, because they obviously have decent fixtures. And like I said, Liverpool could be rotating, but we have to kind of wait and see on that. Pulisic is 6.9. Hey, Any Troops, how's it going? Yeah, it's just a bunch of players to kind of consider. And the problem is they're all in midfield. Yeah, Mount is another one, 6.2. He's played the most games. I think he's played every game or something. The only player for Chelsea to do so. So again, it's a bit crazy. I'm looking at City because I know City are the most dangerous, but they're also super risky with rotation as well. So, and then you have Man United. I think maybe we look to potentially kind of... I like Alonso a lot, to be fair. But I want to see how they play versus West Ham, because typically Chelsea have kind of dipped out of, points against the weaker teams, and they kind of play up to their opponents, much like how kind of Everton kind of are. So let's say we think that Pulisic is doing well. He's a 6.9 midfielder. So maybe we would downgrade Richarlison to Pulisic, and then get Jesus up front. Yeah, Loftus-Cheek is another one too. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. Even Gilmore, if he starts, is 4.4. Really cheap. Really cheap. Giroud's only 6.6, seems to be starting up front. It's a bit wonky. This is causing a lot of problems and a lot of headaches that I did not want. But, nonetheless, I think we're probably going to leave it there. This is the team I'm 99.9% sure going to stick with. I think I'm going to leave Nketiah on the bench for a sub. Got to put the money out on the field. Chelsea, Man City. I thought Chelsea played exactly how they should have played versus City if they were to draw it up perfectly. Like City, when they play that false nine comp, like the false nine with Sterling, it just never works. It just absolutely does not work. So it's a bit awkward, but yeah, I just think City had all of the ball and then they just didn't do anything with it, honestly. So not the end of the world, but I still think City assets are super valuable. But like I said, the rotation is a bit all over the place. But yeah, I think Jimenez captain makes the most sense. He's on fire. No point not sticking with him. The only other option that I would probably think is Son. But yeah, I think we kind of have to see how it kind of rotation kind of plays out. And who knows, some of these players might play in the FA Cup games as well, so that might, you know, affect some things. But I think Jimenez is just going to play every game as long as he's fit, basically. So in the Premier League anyway. So I think he's probably the best option. He's probably the best option. So that is going to do it. That's going to do it for this week. Yeah, I think Jimenez captain, Fernandez vice, and just stick with the same team and go into next week with 2 transfers to figure out what even I'm going to do. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah, make sure to leave a like on the video when it goes up on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us here on Twitch and over on Twitter so you get all the latest content. And until the next stream and the next video, we'll see you in the next one. Take care.